Hi everyone, welcome back to Home on the Hitch. In case you're new here, I'm Melissa and this is Thomas.
Hey, how you doing?
We want to make sure that you make every moment count.
That's right. So today we're going to talk about some of the most costly mistakes that you can make when purchasing your RV. Get them out there for you so maybe you can avoid those. So let's get this started. Hit that subscribe button.
First off, we want to talk about, will the RV meet your needs?
That's right. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake, costly mistake that you can make. Is it the correct type of RV for you? And that's something that you have to figure out. Do you tow it, drive it? Do you have a truck already to pull it? What size are you going to need? Those are all things that you're going to have to consider. The layout, how many bedrooms, sleeping areas. Those are all things that you're going to need to figure out.
Right. And what kind of traveling are you going to do?
It's very important. Like national parks are certain size RVs. Are you going to be full timing? Are you going to be traveling across country? You need to look at the layouts and pay close attention to what you can access. If the RV that you're looking at has slides, you need to know what you can access when the slides are in. So if you stop for the night, you can get to the bathroom or the bedroom or whatever you need to, because not all RVs have that ability, and you need to pay close attention to that. And you need to make sure that you can fit in the bathroom and fit in the shower and get dressed in the bedroom. Those sound silly, but they're all things to consider. And it's not great to write a big check and then, 3 or 4 weeks later figure out that you bought the wrong RV. So.
Right, or maybe you're just a weekend warrior and want the bare minimums.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, there's something for everyone.
Absolutely.
There's something out there for everyone. So just make sure you do your research.
The most important thing I could say is shiny and brand new is not always.
It's not always the best thing, and that's what they'll try to sell you. But look close.
If you're unsure about what you're looking for, you can always try before you buy.
That's right. The dog is tearing the floor up. Always. We rented our first RV out for a while, and that's an advantage these days. Is there are numerous platforms that you can rent an RV on, and try numerous floor plans or models, fifth wheels, Class A's before you commit to buying one.
We have a video for the RV share, so
that's right.
Check that out.
So we'll link that up. We'll throw a card up so you can click on that.
I would also suggest that that maybe you borrow from a friend or a family member who
absolutely.
has an RV.
And that's a good source of advice too. If you have a family member who's been RVing for a long time, they'll have some good information.
Right. So another thing that is really a huge mistake is not doing a pre-delivery inspection, whether it's used or new.
Right, and new. That's a great point. New and used, it doesn't matter. You need to, when a dealership gets an RV in, they do what's called a PDI, and you can ask to see the PDI sheet, and that's post delivery inspection, where they go through and look at everything, make sure everything works, and fix any little details or problems that are not working.
Right. We would also recommend that if you're still not sure about the information, that you would use an inspector or an RV technician who's familiar with it, or even just a friend who has experience.
I've gone numerous times for friends to look at RVs when they're buying a used RV. They've asked numerous questions about buying a new one. Get somebody that you trust that has experience, and that can be one of the local techs at a dealership. Pay them a little bit of money and have them go through a used RV for you. It's a lot of dealerships offer that service. So
yeah, and ladies, if you know friends who have RVs, it's important to talk to them also, because we have different
absolutely,
for sure, and we can't express enough how important it is to not skip this step.
Absolutely.
You should also request a full demonstration and test everything yourself also when you are looking at purchasing a new RV.
Make sure especially if you're a new RVer, make sure they explain to you before you leave. It's their job to go through and show you how everything works. If you have a dual fuel or a dual a propane and electric fridge, they got to show you how that works. Do you have an inverter? They need to show you how it works. The water pump, everything, the cable. You can have all kinds of satellite jacks and cable jacks and TV jacks in different places, and they need to show you how that works, because that's what they're supposed to do.
You know, you want to make sure that you know how the leveling system works. How are you going to hook up for towing?
Right.
You know, the most
hitch,
important question is, you know, how do I
who's
check
gonna
and
flush,
empty my black water
who's going to do the black tank?
That's your job.
Yeah.
I do the inside, you do the outside.
Get the poopy hands.
Although, I will tell you, I can do it. I know exactly
I've never seen it, but that's okay.
Whatever. I know how to hook everything up and to do it, but my choice is not to. That's what I
that's fine. Yeah, we're good. All right, next up.
You want to know your limits. So not knowing your limits is a huge deal breaker, and that's your personal limits, but especially your towing limits.
That is correct.
Your capability?
They're not going to, when somebody says that a truck can tow 13,000 pounds, that's really not true. There's a lot that goes into it, and we have a good video that I'm going to link to, all about towing, and it's up on our website as well. I'll leave those links in the description. Explains everything, but you know, we made this mistake with our first RV and bought it and took off, and the vehicle we had was not capable, or was not. We should not have been towing them with it, and I had to buy a new truck or a different. I had to buy a different vehicle.
Back to the female aspect of it. Don't overload your RV with stuff because it does increase the payload.
Or the tow vehicle.
Or the tow vehicle.
And that goes back to our first trip as well. We have a picture of us about to pull out with our first RV hooked up to old Durango. And there was so much stuff packed in that Durango that I couldn't see out the windows. I couldn't see out the back.
So another thing mistake that you don't want to make is not having the correct type of insurance for your vehicle. That is
correct, because RV insurance is not car insurance.
Right, so you need to know what is the difference.
Right.
And how is it different.
And it's, you know, a lot of times your car insurance will transfer a little bit of liability to a travel trailer or a fifth wheel that you're towing, but it's not going to provide coverage for your travel trailer or fifth wheel or the contents inside of it. So you need to talk to your insurance agent, an insurance professional, someone who knows what they're doing and what they're dealing with, especially if this is going to be a full-time or you're going to be traveling a lot, because you've got to protect. I mean, this is your home on the road, right. So you need to be able to protect it.
And you need to know this before you purchase your vehicle, because there's a difference between the towable and the drivable insurance.
Great insurance for a towable unit is not going to be that much. Great insurance for a $250,000 Class A is going to be a lot.
Huge difference.
So there's a big difference. You need to know what kind of expense you're talking about. All right, what we got?
So another really important thing is not taking the time to practice.
That's a good one.
And there's lots of things to practice, such as driving and towing.
Towing.
How to park.
And backing up.
Backing up is huge.
Backing up is a big one, especially if you've never. People who have been RVing for years still have issues backing up. Especially if you're dealing with a towable unit, a fifth wheel travel trailer. If you've never towed anything this big, you need some time in a big parking lot somewhere to kind of coast around.
Some important things to remember is take your time. Don't be hasty. Salespeople don't know everything.
That's right, they don't. You're going to meet some guys that are like super informed, and they take their job seriously, and they know what they're talking about, and they're going to be able to help you with your questions. You're also going to meet a lot of used car salesmen. Type salesmen that don't really know anything. They know some specific numbers about the models that they're selling, and they'll tell you yes, whatever it takes to get signed on the dotted line. So
right. Make sure you do your research, whether in multiple ways. So you want to do online, you want to tour the RVs, possibly rent, talking to other owners. That's probably your biggest asset.
Forums on Facebook or social media is a place for a lot of good information. You can ask questions about certain models or brands because all RVs are not created equal.
So, and again, it's very important to know your limitations, be it your personal limitations and your vehicle limitations.
Vehicle.
And back to the talking to other owners and owning an RV is it does require a certain amount of handiness.
Yep.
You know, you've got to be able to address issues and just be able to deal with them.
That's right. It's not
a lot of things are really easy.
Yeah, it's not hard.
So again, don't be pressured.
Don't be pressured.
About
I'm telling you.
Anything.
You take your time.
Yeah, just because it's a good deal or available doesn't mean it's always the best
a good deal might not be a good deal.
Right,
so.
right.
So don't forget, go to our website, www.homeonhitch.com. We've got the beginner's guide there. We've got the information on towing that will really help you answer some questions.
All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
That's right. Be safe. Take care of each other. Love each other. Until then, make every moment count.
See ya.